Good morning, everybody. It's 8:42 a.m. Monday morning. The last video I had was on Thursday of last week, and unfortunately, I made a video this morning that was an hour long, and my audio wasn't working. I talked for an hour and couldn't use any of the footage, so a bunch of wasted time. So this video, I'm hoping to be a little bit shorter than that. I'm going to try to cover most, if not all, of the same information. I'll be talking very quickly, so hopefully you're okay with this. So I'm going to do the standard progress report on what's happened since my last video, and then I'm going to get into a few other things that I feel like are important for today's video. Maybe some talking, answering some community questions, talking about trades, talking a bit about expert advisors, and transparency in the market for educators like myself. Or those that are trying to spread awareness of correct trading logic. So that's what I'm going to go over today. So let's get right into it now, since I've already wasted so much time this morning. So profit report. Right now you're looking at the small LMFX account of $294 right now. It's a live account, but I withdrew most of my account. If you guys haven't seen my previous videos already, I did have $38,000 in this account at one point, and I'll show you where that is in just a second. So the trade that we had today was here, and I'll get into that trade right after I show all my accounts and the progress that we're having there. So let's go to the MyFX books tracking. And right now you can see that LMFX did have that profitable trade this week and on Friday of last week as well. So right now I'm up for 12%, 12.72% with the LMFX account. And this last trade was a 1.78%, which is about 7 times more profit than my standard profit with my standard risk. So this account is trading roughly seven times more, just because I withdrew most of my money and I had a little bit left over. So I'm just trading it for fun, to see how, like a little experiment, basically, to see how well my strategy holds with excessive risk. I don't plan on using this kind of risk with more than probably $1,000. Ever, but it's fun to see how it goes. I don't plan on this account lasting indefinitely, but we'll see how it does. All right, this is my other friend's account with $18,000. It's going well, straight profit, and this is my account that I'm managing for my friend. With this account has the 125,000 in it, and today's profit was 0.28% with a $345 profit. That's just off of one trade. So he had the same trade as you see here, and all the accounts are taking the same position, just on different accounts. So this one was taken on LMFX, but it was the same setup was shown on Oanda as well. So I wanted to talk briefly, and I did this in the first video, but you just couldn't hear what I was saying, about certification in trading others' accounts. As you guys know, I'm trading on behalf of at least one friend. So the other friend that's trading this account, I actually am letting him use my expert advisor, and so he has the expert advisor on his account. On his VPS, and it's running my expert advisor pretty much exclusively. Actually, it's running my expert advisor exclusively. So even though I'm not directly managing this account, since he has it on his VPS, it is running my software and taking all the same trades. So I do count that as me technically managing, I guess, $18,622 since it's my software. So as a U.S. resident, I spoke to the CFTC and the NFA and some Forex lawyers as well to make sure that since I was considering becoming a CTA, which is a commodity trading advisor, and once you're a commodity trading advisor, you can trade on behalf of others, and you can actually go out and advertise that. And your stats can be viewable to anybody that wants to see them in their public domain. And I was considering doing that, but it was going to cost me about $8,000 to $10,000 to become a commodity trading advisor, and I would have to take about 4 hours of tests, which don't sound like they're too bad, but I'd have to study up for it. And I wasn't too interested in going down that route. I wanted to go a more personal route and try to make trading happen independently. And so I backed out of that that idea. The reason why I was looking at that is because a bank was approaching my strategy, and was considering using me, and I turned them down, at least for now. All right. So I'm still allowed to trade on behalf of friends, personal friends, and family, and I guess the gray area is how many people, and typically the CFTC has shown that you can advise on behalf of and trade on behalf of 15 friends or family. Right now, I just have 1 or 2 people that I'm managing, and I've checked with Forex lawyers just to make sure that what I'm doing is safe and secure and not against any rules. And right now, that is the case. The Forex lawyers gave me the go-ahead that how me managing Robert's account, since he's a personal friend, and how we have been for the last 2 years, that I am in the clear to manage this account. The reason why the CFTC and the NFA tried to regulate this is to protect those that are having their accounts traded from traders that are not very controlled or have large losses, and potential lawsuits happen. So the CFTC tries to do this to protect those involved in this kind of arrangement, and to minimize that, that's why they only allow friends and families, because there's a personal connection with those individuals. So keep that in mind for those of you that are knowledgeable traders and are trading on behalf of others, or considering doing that. That there are fine lines. You could always do this on the side and in secret without the CFTC knowing, but you also could get sued up the ass, because of it. So just be careful of how you utilize that. Okay, so I know that I didn't give my full profit report there. I kind of broke that up. But here is the MaverickFX account. So this account, I did have that same profit, and still trading $24,260 real money. 6,000 of it is mine, just over 6,000, and Maverick has about 18. And they have said that if I have a profitable month in August, that they will increase the account by 20,000 in the beginning of the month in September. So that means this account will be close to about $45,000 in the beginning of September 1st, typically. And what that means is how they want me to approach this is they want my account balance to be about 20% of the full account balance. So right now I'm about 25%, 6,000 of a $24,000 account. I'm fine. I'm more than 20%. But once they increase it by 20%, 20,000 more, then I'm going to be short. I don't know how they're going to approach it completely yet, but they might actually want me to deposit another 2,000 to make sure I have about 20% of the total account balance is my money, which is fine, because that means at that point they'll have almost 40,000 of their dollars in there, and I only have about 8. So I feel like that's a pretty good trade-off. And I get to keep 75% of the profits at that point, which is awesome. Okay, so just a refresher, this account is a demo. It's copying the trades from a bridge, an MT4 bridge, over into my Interactive Brokers account with Maverick. And so that's how the trades are being copied over there. And my other balance is showing 0. So this is the account that the live account from Oanda that I've been running for a week or two, and I just withdrew it. And you can see the funds withdrawn from the account. I don't know why they did it in groups of two, 9,700 and 459. But you can see the total profit was 1.77% on the account since I started that about a week or so ago. So not a whole lot of profit, and I withdrew it because I have a new plan. In that new plan, since I think I'll get into that now, since pretty much I've shown you all of my accounts at this point, and the profit that has been made since the last video. I had this trade today, and these trades that closed out on Friday. That also gave me another profitable basket. So a few trades in the last few trading days. Okay, so where am I going to? Where is that 10,000? Where is that 10,000 going to? Well, I have decided that with the idea that Maverick may need me to upgrade my account, so I have that 20% of the total account balance, and Maverick is my main source of focus right now, because as you guys know, and as I have shown, or whatever the actual website is, that they upgrade me through the levels once I have 2 profitable months. And the level 3 is what I was talking to you about, when they would give me a total of about 40,000, and then level 8. And I need to have funds set aside, so I have about 20% of the total balance in there. And that's what I was keeping aside. My Oanda account was to hold those funds just in case I needed to put more into my Maverick balance. And I was thinking, I'm like, well, I don't want these funds just to sit on the side, and that's why I was trading them at Oanda, but they're a little bit slow since the account's pretty small. It's only 10,000, and so I would only be making roughly about 5% maximum, about 5% per month, which would only be about $500. So I'm thinking, oh, it's just not a good amount of money to profit to set aside and to grow, so I can put into my Maverick balance. So what I wanted to do was look at my other options. Now I moved from LMFX because I was a little bit worried that they were potentially going under. You know, some unregulated brokers that are pretty new in the market can fall off pretty quickly. Take, for example, MaverickFX. I was involved with them with a really big client, a client that had $465,000, and he ended up losing his entire balance because the broker ran with the money. Luckily, because I had a decent business relationship with my account manager at MaverickFX, I was one of the few that actually got my withdrawal. Just because I happened to be liked by my account manager there, and he pulled some strings so I could actually get the money that I was owed. It was about 10,000 back then. So I'm very cautious with these brokers. Now, Trader's Way. You can see my account balance, my account number here, which it doesn't really matter. You can't do much with that. But Trader's Way is for those of you that are from the U.S., and the majority that watch my stream are actually from the U.S. Trader's Way is one of those places, a broker that's unregulated. So it's like LMFX. They offer a lot of the same kind of things. 100% bonus up to 5,000. It was more at LMFX, but 1,000 to 1 leverage, which is incredibly high. But they are not regulated. But they've been around for quite a few years, longer. They're an older broker than LMFX. The reviews are quite good, and they have quite a few of them on Forex Peace Army. And I like to see how they're responding to the community. They're typing and writing responses to the people that are having good reviews and bad reviews, which is good. It means the broker is actively involved in trying to keep the reputation up. When I see that, and I see that the broker has been around for quite a while, I decided that I'm going to move my 10,000, my 10K, so it will grow a bit faster at Trader's Way. Since I have that leverage, it means that I can utilize my system a lot more, and still be fine on the drawdown side. The leverage is pretty much what was keeping me back with at Oanda. It makes me so I can only profit so much because of that leverage limitation. Since I have 1,000 to 1 leverage, which I will likely be using, I won't use nearly 1,000 leverage. I'm probably going to be looking for about a 10% profit. So I will double my profit expectation from 5 to 10%. And and so what happens when I deposit a $10,000 account to Traders Way? They will give me 100% bonus, but what has to happen is they break it up into groups of 5K. Now 5,000 is the maximum that you can get a bonus on. So they said that if you make 2 separate accounts, then you can get a $5,000 bonus in each of them. So I will have to have 2 accounts, run them on my VPS. Unfortunately, it's kind of a roundabout way. I don't know why I need 2 separate accounts and why they won't just give me a bonus on 10K instead of 2 separate 5K accounts. So it has to be done this way. But what does that give me? That gives me a total account balance or total funding to work with is 20,000. So 20,000 is quite a bit. And if I'm making 10% profit in a safe way, which I don't think I'm going to push any more than that, although I think I can, obviously, because my LMFX count over here somewhere here is doing 7 times. Now I'm not tempted to do 7 times at Traders Way because their bonus terms are if you have a 50% drawdown, then they will remove your bonus and you'll get a margin call. So I can't have a 50% drawdown, and I had a 30% drawdown already at the 7 times risk. So not a risk that I'm willing to take. I'm going to keep this very controlled. 10% is ton at this with a $20,000 account. So I'd be making about 2K a month on that on a good month. It would be anywhere from $1,000 to probably $2,000 that I would be able to work with. Now this is why I'm taking my my money to Traders Way, is because while I'm waiting for Maverick to increase its funds, so I'll have a whole month to work with that. I mean, it's still pretty early in August. I only have about 3 weeks. So whatever profit I make in that month, and they upgrade me, I can probably just withdraw the balance from my Traders Way account and put it into my Maverick account to make sure I have that 20% in there of the total balance. Instead of having to withdraw my actual balance, which I would have had to do if I was continued at Oanda. All right, so I feel like this is a much better route. Now, there's definitely risks involved. Number one, I'm at a broker that's not regulated, which they could just pick up and leave and disappear in a second. And it would be much harder for me to get my money from there than, say, if Oanda tried to do the same thing or Forex.com to try to do the same thing. So there's a risk there. I'm risking 10,000 because of the broker situation. It's the same thing I was risking at LMFX as well. Number two, I'm using my strategy with a bit higher risk, and double the risk what I'm using at Oanda, which I find is the safest. But the reason why I'm using that risk amount is because of the leverage. The leverage limits me to how much I can push the account. And so since I have 1,000 leverage, means that I'm only really going to be utilizing 100 of that 1,000 leverage. So I don't need the 1,000, but I'll be just perfectly fine. I want to still stay not risking too much, and I don't want to get carried away. So 10%, perfectly fine. So I'll be withdrawing my balance from there when it's needed for Maverick. All right, so let's move on to the next subject. Let's start answering some questions from the community. And first, let's go to YouTube. Okay, so this is I logged into my YouTube, and what's interesting is that one of my videos, the new series, the one I just released about 8 days ago, is getting a lot more views than any of my other videos has. I'm not sure if somebody posted it somewhere, or if it's getting picked up by YouTube in their searches or on Google or something, but this video may actually end up going viral in a smaller way. I don't mean like huge, like 1,000 views a day. Sometimes it takes months, if not years, for that to happen with videos. But it's interesting to see why how this video is taking off. So the video that had a bunch of comments was the one that I released on Thursday. So it was Harley, which I think Harley is the same guy as Erebus. I'm not positive, but I think that they're the same user. And so he's talking a lot about expert advisors, and I'll get into that later on in this video, probably near the end, where I will talk a little bit more about the expert advisor that he mentioned. So first I'm going to answer this question here. So hi Ryan, this guy Bradley nicely asking about how to put your back tests on your MT4 back tests onto my FX book. And so it's pretty simple, and I'm going to show you how to do that really quickly. So hopefully you guys are fine with me doing that. I'm not going to show you step by step, but it's really easy. So you log in, you make an account at my FX book, and you go under the Systems tab, and you go into Strategies. And when you see this tab, you'll see top 10 strategies. That will be at the top of the page. But since I already have strategies put into the system, you'll see I see them at the top. So all you got to do is you see this plus button at the top, and you just click Add Strategy. You find your statement, detailed statement, and mine, I use Google Chrome, so that's why it shows that way. You press Upload, and it takes a second or two to upload, and you see it attached. And I'm not sure what the strategy files are. A section, you might have to look that up. I haven't used it. And then you just have to come up with a name. Put name in anything you want. Select your broker. If it's private or public, if you just want to see it, or if you want everybody to see it. And then if you have a forward test active, you can select that too. If not, then you just press Add, and you'll see your stats. What's really cool about my FX book is it kind of breaks it down for you. It shows you what kind of stats that used at the top in your EA settings. Maybe not all of them, and they're sometimes a little bit hard to organized kind of poorly, but it's not a big deal. But it shows you the what your equity and balance curve looks like. It shows your profit. It shows your maximum drawdown, your monthly expectation, your total profit, how long the test was done for, what type of test, when it was added, and all your trades. And the biggest thing, the reason why I like these tests, is that it shows you how profitable your strategy was for month by month, which is something that MT4 doesn't do. So it's really helpful to see how good your EA is over the longer period of time. Now, if you're curious, this is my strategy on the odd CAD. This is the RMI higher risk. I think this was done at LMFX. So took advantage of the higher leverage, but it shows really positive results on the odd CAD. The odd Canadian dollar on the 1 hour is the best pair for my strategy, if you're wondering. All right, so let's go back to my thread. Oh, not the right one. Okay, so I wanted to talk about a newer thread here on Forex Factory. It's done by 3 Light Trader, and he only allows for high impact traders to respond to this thread. And the reason why is because he's gotten a lot of negative feedback from the community. He's a trader that, and I respect what he's trying to do here. He's trying to educate the trading industry, or the market, or Forex Factory, with free content. So he's releasing these videos similar to how I'm doing it, and posting them on his thread. So he makes a high claim, saying that I averaged between 500 and 1,500 pips a week in the Forex market. And that's pretty much the statement that got everybody upset, because he shows his videos and doesn't have any stats to back up what he has said in his texts and potentially in his videos. I haven't watched all of his videos yet, but he does have some decent information. So I give him that a lot of the stuff that he's saying is pretty good knowledge. But there are some signs of worry. I mean, you can see right here on his video that he has a website, trading with Lenorth .com. Now, if you check that website, and when you have a website for that, it just makes me think that there is a time or a place that this guy will end up trying to sell you something. I could be wrong. I'm not always right, but I could be wrong. There's another problem. He doesn't show his face, like I do. I'm sure you probably hate seeing my face sometimes. I look like a little kid. If there's anybody that wanted to hide his face, it should be me, because I'm red. I have red hair. I'm extremely fair-skinned. I am. I look like I'm 18 years old. I'm actually 31. So that was my biggest worry with showing my face, is that I wouldn't have people wouldn't listen to me because I look like I'm a kid, and I'm not. Why would a kid be sharing good Forex knowledge? That's the thing that I've been constantly worried about. But since my face has been out on YouTube for quite a while now, I'm not worried about that. I'm also a professional musician too, and that if there's one thing I would want to hide, is that letting people know that I'm a trader when I am part of a group called the Five Browns, and I also my group has videos on YouTube as well. So if anybody should be hiding who they are, it should be me. And I didn't want to do that, because I want to see a face with somebody that's trying to spread awareness or educating the trading market or the trading world. There's been too many videos that I've watched in the retail space with guys that just don't show their faces because they, in most cases, have something to hide. And I didn't want to do that. So, 3Light Trader, this is nothing against you. Maybe you didn't want to show your face for some other reason besides trading. So I'll just have to take your word for it for that. The other issue is that he doesn't show his stats. I mean, and that's what people were complaining about here, is that he doesn't show any track record or anything. And I responded to his thread here, saying similar things to what I'm telling you right now. That in order to have the community listen to you, you have to have either some some fame or a track record, and it's pretty much one of those two things. And what about all this, like when I say fame, I mean like some of those guys that have read those books written books, Forex trading books out there. They have some fame, or the guys that have a really long track record of successful trading history. And those are the kind of things that you need to do if you plan on sharing what you have learned, or what you've done in the market with others. And so I know that a lot of people, some traders are shy or don't want to show their results because it changes their mindset because people are watching. That is a honest, I guess, worry. And I've had to get used to that. I've had to get used to having my results in front of people. And because I have had times early on, especially, where I would change my strategy to try to show off. That's one reason why I took a month break, is because I found that I was trying to make trades out of the market. And I didn't like that about myself. I didn't like how I was trying to give people live trades when it wasn't necessary. That's why I kind of stopped the stream, and that's why I stopped my videos for a while, because of that. So yeah, I do understand that being private with your trades can be important, especially if it's a personal account and you want to protect your results. But if you want to educate in this way, transparency is key, because you need to be as transparent as possible, because this world has been filled with traders that just are not transparent. And I feel like that awareness about that is now starting to come out. where it's very easy to get scammed in the trading world, and to be very careful about buying retail Forex products without a complete knowledge of it and of the strategy that they're using. So I don't find this 3 light trader to be a shy person, and I do feel like sharing stats might help him in reaching his goals of trying to educate the trading world, and he'll get picked on less as well, showing people. You know, unfortunately, a lot of retail traders have smaller account balances, and they're a little embarrassed to show a long track record of, maybe 6 to 12 months or more if their account balance is only $1,000. I wouldn't look at them any differently. I'd find that person that's trading $1,000 that's been profitable for 2 years is no more impressive, is not less impressive than a trader that has 100,000 that has a 2-year track record around the same amount of profit each month. I find both traders to be equally impressive. A lot of people say that trading $1,000 is a lot different than $100K, and it can be, especially if discretion is involved. It might change your judgment, but that just comes with experience. And you can get a lot of trading experience trading on small accounts, especially if you're constantly profitable. A lot of traders have been to say that you need a large account to be a real trader. And I mean, there are some cases true about that. You need a large account if you want to live off the profits. But you don't need a large account to be a good trader. All right. So I hope that the 3-light trader, makes a few changes to how he's approaching this, because I feel like his videos do have some good knowledge in them, and they're put together well. But I feel like more transparency in who he is, in his strategy, his track record, could be a helpful thing for the trading world that's lacking in the transparency area. Okay, let's see. So next I'm going to go into my thread real quickly. Hopefully that bit wasn't too boring to you guys. So we're now on to page 17, and I wanted to thank Steve Pat again for posting some pictures. It looks like there was another trader that was posting results, and I'm going to talk about him real fast. Let's see if I can find him. It wasn't Fat Kumo. He just started posting as well. Let me see if I can find him. Well, I guess he stopped a while ago. All right, it was Sad007. I thought it was Sad007. He was following my system pretty carefully. He looked like he was using Steve's similar kind of template for his trading. And then he had a losing trade somewhere. Oh, here it is. So pound CAD closed and lost, and then history. So I don't really know what he means by this, but let's zoom in on this a bit. Let's talk about this trade. Okay, this trade is he closed him out right here on the peak. I'm not really sure why he closed it out at the half number right here. Maybe he was thinking that was a good place to close it out. But it's really kind of sad because it actually reversed and went back down, and I ended up closing out profit on this position. So my response to this was, why did you close this trade out? Because every trade, at least in my rule set, was that each trade should have a 500 pip stop loss on it. This is, maybe he was thinking that this was 500 pips total from all of his trades. I'm not really sure, but he closed it out, and I haven't heard from him since. So I don't know what happened there. But yes, you're supposed to have a 500 pip stop loss on each position, not on the entire basket as a whole. So that's why you ended up losing out. And in that basket, I only had, what was it, not even 1% drawdown. I think it was 0.5% drawdown on that basket. Okay, so now I'm going to talk next about Steve's trades, and you can see that they're pretty good. And I'm going to talk about how his approach. You see his profitable trades here and here, and his latest trades here on the odd Canadian dollar. So I'm going to talk about how to approach the market, not just using my inside candle setup, but how to work it in the same way that Steve and I are doing it. And this is, I think, if you're wanting to some trading advice, and this is the most important part of today's video, because now I'm going to teach you how to read the charts with not just looking for an inside candle setup, but using levels and looking at the candlestick patterns and the candlesticks themselves to try to figure out if a certain level in the market, whether it's a whole half number or support resistance point, if it's going to hold or not, and if it's going to break through. And as you can see here, he's marked this area, and that's the half number. And you can see that the on CAD had seen a resistance up there, and it saw resistance again right up here. So he's saying that he wants to wait to see if it hits this 1.00500 level, and see how price reacts to that level, and if he gets a powerful candle that breaks past, or if he gets more of this kind of candle action where there's a lot of wicks and potentially inside candle setups and reversal candles in that that area, which I'm going to show you how to read. So good on you, Steve. I feel like this is really good trading, and you're using levels to your advantage. You're watching the levels, you're looking at the support resistance levels, which is great. So you're utilizing past data, but also putting a real-time spin on it, which I feel like is completely necessary. You need both in order to make a direct and correct assessment of where the price may head in the next few hours. Okay, so let's go to my charts, and okay, I'm going to use the same example that I did in my last video that I didn't have the sound on. Okay, so here we go. And this is again not the best example here, but I'm going to use it just for this video. Okay, so bear with me here. But I think this is very valuable. So what we're looking at is, first off, where's the whole number? All right, so we're at 1.6400. That's the whole number, right? Or round number, you can call it too. And that round number goes along this whole area, right? That's not perfectly straight line. Actually, why don't we just make it right at the whole number? All right, so there is the round number. And you can see automatically that price is somewhat reacting to it. And if you don't see it, I'm going to explain that to you now. So reaction 1, resistance. Price used that level, the whole number, as a resistance. And so when this happens the first time, you see there was lots of space to the left. There's much action going on. It went down and then gradually hit that level. So let's make believe that this is the first time that it hit this level, at the 64 level. And we saw some candles that made some wicks, right? And then this one went down. We're not going to do anything with this right now because price hit it for the first time. And we didn't know if it was going to break through, if it was going to push down, or how it was going to react to that whole number level. And we see that it actually fell down a bit. Now this is only the 30-minute time frame, but it did fall down. And then eventually it went back up. So we had a couple fake outs here. This candle here looked like it was powerful enough and bearish enough to actually shoot down at that point. Well, price wasn't having it and it shot back up. So you'll notice something at the whole numbers, which I've mentioned before, is that 20 to 30 pips below and 20 to 30 pips above, you'll see a lot of this action, especially on the pairs that I trade, where there'll be up and down 20 pips above and 20 pips below, maybe 30 pips above and 30 pips below. And then once we have a good, powerful close, 30 or more than 30 pips above or below the whole numbers, usually that is a pretty good indication that it's going to continue in that direction. So you can see here that it's bouncing all over the place around this whole number, 20 pips and 30 pips below, until eventually it does break through, which I'll talk about that candle in a second. All right, so resistance 1. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look for the next time that price happens to hit that same resistance point and see how the candlesticks react to that level. So we see the first one. The body of the candle just barely closed above the whole number, but it also the wick showing us that this resistance area may be still in effect. That this candle did not close very powerful. It's missing. It's like only half mass here, and so there's a lot of the body that pulled back down during the course of the candle's life. And so that we don't enter a trade after this. We don't think that it's going to go back down from there just because this one candle gave us a wick. That's not good enough. We need more than that. This inside candle is a bullish inside candle. You know, typically we like a bullish candle to be followed by a bearish inside candle in order for us to be thinking that the market will go down, or vice versa if we think the market's going to go up. But since this is a bullish inside candle, that can be an indication of potential more of a push up. That this is, since we have a bullish inside candle with a bullish candle before that, usually means that the pressure can continue on the upside, at least in this case. But what did we get after that? We got a bearish candle. Now this isn't a setup of ours because we like for the bullish candle before it to make a new high. And you can see that this didn't make a new high of the previous candle. It would need to be higher than that. It would need to be above the previous candle. So this candle here would need to be all the way up here, making a high above that candle, the previous candle. It needed to make a new high. And then we get the inside candle. But since this is an inside candle of the inside bullish candle, not quite a signal, but a good indication that there's going to be some push on the downside there. And so I would have potentially looked at taking a trade right after that inside candle happened, and I would take it on this next candle. Now, if I was unsure about this candle, I would wait to see if I got any more hints. And what did I get? This candle right after that. This candle had a nice wick on the top, a very small bullish body. I would have liked for it to be bearish and close below the opening of the previous candle. It didn't happen, but it's still a good enough indication that we are holding at this resistance point. And I would have entered, if I wouldn't have entered here on this candle, I would have entered again, I would have entered here. Same thing. So it went down like 25 pips, right? Not very much. And then it shot back up. Again, that action that I was talking to you about, like this, at the whole number. So it's still undecided where it wants to go at this point. And so right now, at this point, there's no news coming out. There's no political event. And so all we have to do is we have the technical analysis that we're going off of, trying to see where the market is finding, is going to find its ground and eventually break this whole number on the down or upside. So it shot back up 20 pips above, gave us an inside candle setup. This candle made a new high, gave us an inside candle, and my EA entered on this particular trade. And it shot down about 35 pips. Not enough for me to take profit. And then what happened? Again, shot back up. All right, so what we got this candle. This one that gave us again a large wick near the peak, near this whole number. So it's showing us that this area is acting as a pretty heavy resistance. Since it's been hit here, it's been hit here, here, and now here again. And so that's what these candles are show us, just even on the 30-minute time frame, that resistance is very active. So what happened here? what happened with this candle? That was a news event. That was I think a pound GDP that came out, and it shot the price down in a big way. Now the news is so hard to tell because we don't know what's going to happen when the stats come out and the fundamental news, and how the traders are going to react to it as well. And you can see here that it was definitely on the negative. Pound took a negative hit. I just could have easily shot up from that point too, because we were so close to that whole number, and that's one reason why we saw this action here. It's because a lot of the traders were waiting for this kind of fundamental or political news statement to drive the price to the next level or next area. All right, and it just happened to be on the downside, which really helped my trade setup. But maybe I got a few hints from the technical side before that because of this resistance being hit so many different times, that traders were really wanting to hold this level, at least on the technical side, and then the fundamental really pushed it in that direction. And so what happened after this push? Well, every push having to do with news or a political event does have to eventually slow down. Where is it going to stop? And that's how we have our inside candle set up and our bullish and engulfing and all those kind of setup candles formations to help show us when the market will reverse. Now I don't have any direct candle setup in here, but I can tell you that this candle here was almost an indication to buy, almost strong enough. Now we didn't get it on the 1 hour. It didn't show on the 1 hour. It didn't show on the 30-minute, but it did show on the 15-minute time frame. Although not very powerful. You can see this is the inside candle. The body of the candle is really quite thin, and I like to have a powerful inside candle body, one that shows that there is momentum on the pullback side. This candle doesn't show a lot of momentum, so it doesn't give us a really good, a really strong setup. But it's still set up nonetheless, and it did trickle down a little bit more, and then it did end up shooting back up and giving us that 163 level hold. All right, so again, more candles showing us at a whole number that there was potential for a reversal. All right, so that's basically what I wanted to show you in the price action today, guys, that you don't just need to be looking for an inside candle. It doesn't have to be such a cookie cutter type of system. My expert advisor does a cookie cutter type of trading style because it needs it. An expert advisor can only do so much. It has to follow a diagram book, a set of rules, and so I have it following an RMI and an inside candles setup as well. But you can trade this strategy manually, and you can actually do it better than what my expert advisor is doing because you can read into the price better. My expert advisor is not looking. It can't look at the candlesticks and price this in this way, at least not very easily. So that's what I wanted to hit on, and I hope that you guys can start looking at these levels, watching the candlesticks, and seeing how they react. And look for candle formations. You know the ones that I look for to help give me an idea of when to enter and exit trades, like the inside candle setup. But if you don't know other candle formations, why not look for just hints around there, like I was showing you here, and the wicks with the candles as well at this level, based on this previous resistance level, how the next levels and what the candlesticks look like at that if that same level is hit again. And that's what I feel makes a good strategy, is when you're working with places in the market that typically give you support and resistance because of the whole numbers and potentially half numbers, and seeing how price reacts and behaves around these in real time. All right, so that is one thing I wanted to cover here, and hopefully I'm not going too long yet. Let me see. Okay, so we're at 49 minutes again. So the next 10 minutes, I wanted to cover, let's see. Oh yes, the next little bit. So I've been going over two modifications with my strategy, and I'm going to show you that to you now. So this is mql5.com. I just had 2 orders done for me. And I wanted to show you guys this because you'll probably be very curious of the modification that I'm doing with my inside candle setup. Let's see, completed. Is this the... I'm not sure. Oh, right. It's backwards. Haha. I've had so many orders done. Okay. Or is it backwards? I don't know. I might not be able to do this because I don't know where I am right now with the orders. Okay, so this is it. Sorry about that. Okay. So the modification that I'm doing with this, with my current expert advisor is this, where typically I enter right after the inside candle setup on the next candle, right here, right? Typically, right? It's right after the candle opens. My expert advisor and my strategy is to enter a trade after we get that bullish inside candle. In this case, after a downward trend. And the modification was inside candle high is right here, right? This candle needs to break the high of the previous candle by 1 pip before the trade is entered. And that was the new modification. So typically we would enter here, but in this modification we wouldn't enter until the break of the previous candle's high, which means that we would enter the trade a bit later. I did this to try to filter out potential false signals. And the modification just finished. I tested it. It showed the same drawdown as my standard setup or my previous older version, and but less profit. So I decided not to take it. The profit was, oh geez, it was like 4 times less, or 4 or 5 times less, so like 400% less than my previous version. So it took more trades. It took more trades, but it didn't mean that they were any less accurate. And then I'm also I built a new EA as well. It was a stop loss EA, and this one was based on similar kind of setup, but using the high, so using the high as the enter, so the same kind of modification that I just talked about, but using the low, or the low of the candle as a stop loss. So this is basically using my strategy with a very tight stop loss. And how did that work? Did not go well. We had too many small losses. The strategy, this counter trend strategy, was meant to be used in basket trading. And unfortunately, at least at this point, from what I've seen, it's not going to work with a very tight stop loss on each position. So that is one thing I wanted to mention to you guys, so you can get an idea of, I'm still attempting to push the fundamentals of the trading system to see what can be explored in it. How many different facets can be used with this kind of trade setup. All right. So next time I'm going to go over, since we're at the hour mark and I don't want this to exceed that, EA trading. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna hit on that right now in the next 5 minutes. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. So Harley, which I think is the same guy as Eurobus on Forex Factory, was mentioning that he's using a that EA to help profit on his account. and he has a friend that also is using it. Now where did it go? I have too many icons up here. So he's using this EA, and it costs really expensive. And so I checked it out. I looked at a lot of the information, and I'm just going to say a couple simple things about why I can't recommend this EA. And Yerbus, I wish you the best of luck using it, but there's a few reasons why. Number one, it's expensive. And number two is I don't know this guy. Who's Joel Juniperi? I don't even know how to say his, not pronouncing his name probably right. And I also don't know what his strategy is. What does he look for? He doesn't say any of his information. The most I could find was based on price action rules. No, he doesn't hedge. He doesn't martingale, grid, or any other dangerous practices. He doesn't use, such as not closing failed operations. So we know one thing is that he doesn't grid trade. It's not a grid trading strategy. He doesn't bet against or buy into or sell into losing positions. He doesn't do hedging or martingale. This is all great information, but it doesn't tell you more about. It doesn't tell you the details of how his strategy works. In order to use something in the trading market, you need to understand fully of how it works. Like, for example, what I've been doing with you guys. It was just telling you exactly when and where I'm entering the market, and how I'm doing so. For like right here, where you know that I'm entering the market after an inside candle setup, or at least my expert advisor is entering right there. Now, this guy is never going to tell you that because he wants to protect the integrity of his strategy by not explaining to people of how it works, because he's got the fear of somebody creating the strategy and selling it somewhere else. And that's one of my same fears as well, and that's why I'm never going to share my expert advisor. But people have already been starting to create the strategy here on Forex Factory. There's already a code out of on MQL5. So MT5, so that people can use of my strategy. I'm not sure how well it works, but I know that people have already created expert advisors based on my strategy. So this guy has a reason to protect it because he wants to sell it. So reason number one, he's selling it, and he's selling it for a high price. That means that, and if he's selling it for a high price, that means that he's not making enough with his strategy yet, and to just use it on its own. And he might not trust it enough either. I don't know. The reviews are good. He has 26, but the reviews are good in that's a good positive thing. That means that his strategy at the time is pretty universal. It means it works on multiple brokers and trades pretty well on multiple brokers. It's sometimes hard to find a strategy that does that. My EA does the same thing. It works pretty much the same on all brokers, slightly different results on each one, but profitable nonetheless on all of them. So the biggest reason why I can't recommend most, if not all, retail expert advisors is because the creators do not go into detail of why and how the expert advisor trades, down to the candlestick, down to the entry, down to the indicators it uses. You can't trade like that. You can't trade blindly. For example, I can't use this Happy Forex 2.2. This is the EA I've been talking about for a while. It's a great trading EA. Yes, it's a little bit slow, but it closes in really awesome balance in equity growth over 3 years of live testing. And I've tested it. I've run it on a personal account for a while, but I couldn't trust the expert advisor to trade for me on my live accounts without knowing how it would trade. I asked the creator multiple times and he wouldn't tell me, and so I pretty much wasted my money on it because I can't use it. Use something that I don't understand. Because I need to know how it approaches the market. I need to know how it exits the market. I need to see how it does its money management. If I don't know those things, how can I appropriately make judgment calls on how long or how short or how much risk I should be taking with that expert advisor? And so if the guys that I'm helping, my buddies that I'm trading for, they know every single piece of how my strategy works. And what does that do for them? That helps them. It gives them a peace of mind. They know when a trade's going to go in. I mean, I'll get notified by my buddies that they say, "Oh, I see a trade coming in like 30 minutes," and you know, so I don't. It helps because I don't have to ask. They don't ask a bunch of questions. They know how the strategy works. They know when trades are going to enter and exit. So why do I need to constantly be in contact with them about when trades are going to go in and out when they already know? Also, it gives them they don't worry as much because they know how the trading strategy works. If you know everything about what you're doing in the market, that helps with your emotions so much. Right now, I think Eurobus, if you're using the strategy or your friends using the strategy, you're just crossing your fingers, hoping that the strategy is somehow going to come out and profit, even without knowing how it's profiting. So that's why I can't recommend a retail expert advisor unless it tells you exactly how it enters the market. All right, guys. Next time, I know that I've gone over a little bit, but next stream of video, I'm going to try to debunk trend trading. I'm going to try to make a case on why I think counter trend trading is better than trend trading, and I'm going to go into strategies that I've used, strategies that I've and EAs, expert advisors that I've built to try to make trend trading work, and still have not done it. Does that make me a bad trader? No, it just means that I haven't found that right system yet that works in the long term. I found plenty of trending systems that work in the short term, but nothing that works in the longer term. And I have multiple strategies that I've tried that I feel like are very solid, which I'll go into next time. Breakout strategies, trading with the trend, trading on pullback with the trend, and those two strategies I feel like are some of the best to be used in trend trading. And I'm going to go into detail of why I don't think they're as good. So if you're interested in finding out or watching that video, check out my posts on Forex Factory or on YouTube, and I hope to go over that on Tuesday. I'm going to also be going out of town on Wednesday for a week, so you won't hear from me for a while. And if I do any video updates, it won't be of me trading. It will be of me likely having a good time. Going to be out in the mountains in Virginia, and it should be a lot of fun. All right, guys. Thanks for the support and watching, and I hope to bring another video tomorrow. And good luck with your trading, and let's make some money. All right, see you. Bye.